wasn't even gonna make a video on this situation because I don't want my channel to turn into a prison channel. You know, not that there's anything wrong with that. That's just not where I want to go with this channel. But there are some things that, you know, I can elaborate on in the future about this topic. And the topic is this individual named Mighty Mouse. Um, you know, it's came out that he's a sex offender, you know, a child molester, a chomo. That's what we say here in California. Um, you know, like I said, I don't want this to turn into a prison channel. You know, I've done some time. I haven't been to prison, but I went to Santa Clara County main jail, which is in San Jose, and I started off in Elmwood, and I ended up getting in a fight there, one-on-one, and they sent me to a higher security building called M5, which is in Elmwood, and literally 2 days into there, you know, me and my cellie got into it on a 2-on-2 with two other individuals, and at that point they shot me to the hole, which is in the main jail. So Santa Clara County main jail, and it's in San Jose. So I was on the fourth floor, 4B, and that's where I did the rest of my time. I did about 9 or 10 months altogether. I did nine of those, or 8, whichever it was, in solitary confinement in the hole. So, you know, I know a little bit about this stuff, you know, and that wasn't my only time, you know, getting locked up. So, you know, you know, I was a peckerwood in there. You know, it's just prison politics, or in my case, jail politics, whatever, you know. I haven't been to prison, don't claim that I have. So, anyways, but we all know the rules, and nobody that's gangster, or however you want to, you know, describe it as, can have those charges. At least not in California. You can't. Anyways, you know, regardless of all that, like I said, I don't want this turning into, you know, prison channel, I guess. But anyways, this guy apparently is a tier 3 sex offender, and that's the highest that you could be, you know. And he wants to state that he pleaded out to whatever. He said he had 30 different crimes that he was going with, whatever. Anyways, he said he pleaded down to it, otherwise he would have got life in prison. Okay, whatever. Anyways, the fact of the matter is you have a sex charge, you know, and you're lying about it, for one. You've been caught in lies twice, you know, and it's one thing to, you know, have that charge, okay, but it's a completely other thing when you're saying that you've completely turned your life around, or you're turning your life around, and everything that you have on your content, besides the fighting, the MMA, or whatever you guys are doing, boxing, MMA and boxing, whatever it is, everything that you want to do has gangs, like, you know, it seems like you're just fascinated about gang culture, and you're still wanting to be this gang member, or this gangster, you know, when you're speaking about your movement and all this shit. And the bottom line is you're a fucking sex offender, dude, and you're lying about it, for one. You're lying about your charges, saying you pimped somebody out or something like that. Well, maybe you did. Maybe you did pimp somebody out, but that's fucking disgusting. That's a 14-year-old girl. And you were fucking 29 at the time, you know? That's, you know, it's terrible. And then you're blaming it on the woman, on the girl, she's probably a woman now, saying that she ran her mouth, you know, and that's absolutely disgusting. That's, you know, and people have been saying, well, why are people talking about this, and why are people calling them out on it? Why don't you just stay in your own business? And, you know, YouTube's a platform, okay, for, you know, children to get on there too, you know, and I'm sure a lot of his subscribers are kids watching that MMA and boxing stuff that he's got going on. And, you know, they're watching a sex offender, okay? And he's making light of the situation. It's just disgusting. And that's the whole issue right there, okay, is the fact that he's a sex offender. He has a YouTube channel that he speaks on, okay? And there's probably kids that watch it. I'm sorry, but there shouldn't be any sex offenders with a platform. That's just the way it should be. You should not be able to entertain, you know, anyone really. You shouldn't be allowed to. I mean, and if they are allowing it, which seems to be the case, then, you know, it should be aired out just like it is now, just like you have to register for the rest of your life. Because it's an absolutely disgusting charge. You know, I'll come out and say it right now. When I was a kid, 10, 11 years old, I was sexually abused by somebody. Okay? And, you know, for me to hear what was going on that video of him wanting to justify his crime or whatever, and him blaming it on that little girl that she ran her mouth, that fucking hurt me. That hurt to listen to. I felt for that little girl, or that woman now, you know. All I could think about was, what if she's watching this video, you know? Seeing her abuser, you know, talk like that. It's disgusting, man. It's terrible. And then, you know, his whole thing is, if you have a problem with me, fight me. Or if you have a problem with this, you know, my crimes, fight me. You know, it's typical bully tactics, you know. If you don't like something I have to say, fight me about it. Fight me. Well, the dude's a trained MMA fighter, okay? Or whatever. Trained MMA fighter, trained boxer, whatever he is. So the majority of people aren't gonna, you know, want to fight him about that, and he knows that. That's his thing, is he knows that the majority of people aren't gonna want to do it. Which, with me, that's not the case. I don't claim to be a tough guy or anything like that, but, you know, I've been in a lot of fights. I amateur boxed for 4 years, and, you know, if it ever came down to it, you know, I would box that dude, no problem, but it'd be bare knuckle, you know. Because just the whole bully tactic of his apology or explanation of his sex charge is fucking disgusting. It's fucking disgusting. And for anybody that, you know, has that charge and talks like that, you know, I would hope that every man, you know, that claims to be a man would, you know, take action against somebody like that. Because it's fucking, you know, it's uncalled for. It's not accepted in this society. It shouldn't be accepted on a YouTube platform. And it's definitely not accepted by gang members, okay? It's just not. In California, you can't walk a main line with those charges, any sex charges. You can't walk the main line. Like I said, I haven't been to prison. I don't claim to be a gangster. I don't claim to be a tough guy. You know, it's just the facts. It's the facts of what it is. And if you happen to run into one of those guys, you know, while you're doing time, you have to take flight on them or stab them, whatever it is, right then and there, or you're gonna get stabbed. Okay? It's just the way it goes. So, you know, that's one of the things is I didn't want this to become a prison channel because I haven't been to prison for one. So it probably couldn't even be. I mean, I have plenty of stories about county jail and stuff like that, but I just don't want it to go there. You know, I mean, there's a couple prison channels out there that are good, that you know, that are doing the right thing and, you know, are trying to live a different life, lead a different life now. But then there's people like this, and then a couple other people or whatever that I've come across that still keep that same mentality or that gang bullshit that they have going on, whatever you want to call it, you know, and the whole tough guy act and the whole front, it's all a fucking front. Most of it, trust me, there's plenty of tough gangster motherfuckers out there, but um, that's you could tell. You could tell when somebody's fucking full of shit. And this dude's completely full of shit. A fucking tier 3 sexual abuse charge. You don't plead to that, okay? You're guilty as fuck. You're guilty. And it's just absolutely disgusting. And, there's quite a few people that have called him out on this, and, kudos to them, because that's what needs to happen. He needs to be exposed. He needs to shut down his channel, man. They need to shut down his channel, because that shouldn't be accepted. And the majority of people are not going to accept that. So that's my thoughts on it. That'll be, hopefully that'll be the last one I make on him. And, I'm just trying to find my lane on this YouTube platform, man. And, talking to this camera, I'll tell you one thing, it gets a lot of emotions out. I've had a lot of things come up in my life that, sucked. And it's, I wouldn't say I had the worst life, but it was tough growing up. It was tough being an adult. There's just situations that happen, and it's just tough. And this is like therapeutic to be able to talk into a camera and, maybe get some feedback. Some people might not like it, some might. So anyways, that's what I gotta say.